Hey everybody, this video is all about code switching. So code switching is the practice of changing between two or more languages in a group of people. Okay? So think of it like programming code, right? So if you are programming in Java on one project, but then you switch over to programming in C++ or whatever, you are code switching. You are using the appropriate code for the appropriate situation. Language is the same. Human language is the same. So let's pretend that we had a group of people who all understood English and Spanish. They may switch between English and Spanish in their conversations, right? And so why do people do this? Well, there are lots of reasons why we might do this. The kind of primary reason is to emphasize or what we're saying or to make clear that everyone understands us, right? So a person may feel more comfortable in their native language than in their second language. And so they'll code switch to their native language to express their idea, to ensure that they've properly expressed what they wanted to say and that everyone understood them. But people code switch for other reasons too. We can code switch because there may be some really great natural expressions in one language that perfectly fit the situation. One of my favorites is in Spanish. It's cada loco con su tema, which in English to means to each their own, right? Like kind of each person kind of has their own personality, their own likes, they make their own choices. I just like the Spanish version so much better. It just sounds great. And so if I can code switch into Spanish in those examples, I will. Some people believe that code switching is rude. It's not. Code switching happens when everybody in the group understands the same two or more languages. This is not the same as a group of people speaking in a language that another person in the group does not know. That is rude, right? That is leaving a person out of the conversation, intentionally leaving them out so that they can't participate in what's happening. That is definitely rude, right? But code switching is not. Code switching is when everybody in the group understands the same languages, and so they move back and forth. Okay? Another reason why people will code switch is to show their identity, right? So let's say this is common in countries that have two or more official languages. Spain, Canada, those are really good examples. A French-speaking Canadian may want to code switch less when they're in Quebec because French is the dominant language. And Anglophone Canadians may need to code switch while they're in Quebec. They may need to speak French so that the people around them understand them. Now, here in the United States, we don't have an official language. It's not there. But we do have dozens of languages present. And so code switching is very common between English and another language. But I also had to I was code switching a couple of days ago with a friend of mine. He's a native Spanish speaker. And so while we were having lunch, we code switched between English and Spanish. Sometimes it was easier and just more efficient and, I don't know, funnier to express ourselves in Spanish, and then we would switch back over into English. So it happens all of the time. It's not rude, and frankly, it keeps your brain active, right? To be able to express yourself in multiple languages in the same conversation is a sign of wisdom. It's a sign of intelligence. It's a sign of creativity. These are all really good things, and they're all things that I encourage all of my students to be proud of. See you next time, everyone.